What's going on, y'all? It's Fall for Nothing or Fall for No Thing. Had to bounce back with another video here. And first and foremost, I just need to say, wow. 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 I mean, we saw this come in New York. Not necessarily New York being the first spot that it happened, but we saw this coming. And big news today, New York makes mandatory jabs. Basically, to participate in society. Want to go to the gym? Got to get the jab. Want to go to that restaurant you always went to? Got to get the jab. Want to go to school? Got to get the jab. Want to ride the bus? Got to get the jab. We saw this coming. They don't need to make it a mandate just flat out, period. They just make it so you can't participate in society. And New York, I feel for y'all. I really do. I actually thought about moving to New York at one time. I looked into it and it was really expensive. And I was just, I don't know if I want to live there. But I think y'all could still move. And in the long run, it might not really help from the mandates, but it'll probably be beneficial in more ways than one, at least financially, and at least for now, then you could skip the jab. But brace yourself, all of y'all, because mandates are coming nationwide. They're going to do this nationwide, and they're going to really put people in a position where you feel like your back's against the wall. You feel like you don't have a choice. There's no option. You just got to do it. You like going to the sports games. You like going to concerts. Yeah, I don't have a choice. I guess I'll just do it. Don't give in, y'all. Stay strong. There's plenty of us out here that support you and support one another. So stay strong, New York, and stay strong to anyone that gets put in that situation, even though I think we all will at some point. Nevertheless, I wanted to follow up from my introduction yesterday. I said I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything, and I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. Nothing. No thing. That's not what I'm here to do. But I did say I'm not trying to wake anyone up, and that's false to an extent because I do have some friends and family that just haven't got there yet. And if I, that's my everyday goal. I'm trying to wake up some of my friends and family. Some of them are there, but the majority are not. I've had to meet people outside of my original group of friends and outside of my family that are like-minded like me. And that's really what I'm here for on YouTube is to network and find like-minded people. But at the same time, if I can aid and assist on someone's righteous path to enlightenment, then I'm all for that. I mean, it's a W. It's a dub. It's a win. So if I can help you or help someone that would be great, no doubt about it. But I'm surely not trying to convince anyone of anything, nothing, no thing. Got it? Cool. So, yesterday I mentioned one good way to kind of start with trying to wake people up is through entertainment because people are so intrigued by TV, by their TV series or by their movies or music and any form of entertainment. These people eat it up. And that's why I think it's a good spot to start. But after listening to my stream last night and really thinking about it again, in my almost 10 years of seeking truth, looking for truth and nothing but the truth, one thing I learned that's extremely important is knowing history. Knowing history. It seems like history and mathematics are like the two most hated subjects by the majority of people. People hate math and they hate history. I picked my nephew up last summer, or I was at the end of his school year, and I was asking how his grades were in school. He was doing online classes because of the Rona, and I was like, "How are your grades?" Talking to my little nephew, and he said his history class was the only one that was bogging him down, and he had a bad grade and didn't like his teacher and just didn't like history. And I told him I could relate. When I was young, I didn't really like history. It was not my favorite subject at all. But what I learned throughout my life and what I came to find out to be true is that history repeats itself. So you know why it's so important to understand history? Because we're doomed to go through that same history again. It just keeps repeating itself. It's a never-ending cycle. History repeats itself. So when someone tells you, "Oh, I hate history. Why do I need to know about that? It happened so long ago." It's because history repeats itself. And then you can just be better educated when you're trying to inform people and enlighten people. If you know history, that's a big deal. You know, I bet if I were to ask you right now, Do you know the oldest religion? You might have trouble answering that without old Mr. Google. What if I asked you, do you know who the Society of Jesus is? Do you know that? Or do you have to Google? What if I asked you, do you know the history of Israel? Do you know how it came about? What ethnicities are there? What religions are practiced there? Do you know what wars have gone on? Do you know the history of Israel? Could you answer that? It's important to know your history. And I feel like it's something that not enough people know. They're not informed of these things. And they think it doesn't matter. But going back to what I just said, it does matter because we're repeating history from the past, y'all. We're in it right now, just on a different level in a different time. It's that simple. But when you start to review history, you really see who runs the world. You see who started the banking industry, who's really behind the wars, who's at top of the oil industry, who got that rolling, who runs that, and when you understand that, then you can start to kind of understand other aspects of true truth. And that's getting into what I want to share here. Get this pulled up. Starting with history is really good. And for me, I think it's important to understand all history of Rome, history of Israel, religious history, political history, but you got to start somewhere. And I would really personally suggest to maybe start with Rome. Rome is a good spot to start because they say all roads lead back to Rome. And I made this little playlist here, quite a few documentaries, quite a few videos here in series, different YouTube series on Rome. And I would just strongly suggest you don't have to watch this playlist that I made, but I would strongly suggest just check it out for yourself. Go up here, type in history of Rome, and just look it up yourself and start going through each documentary and get informed of history. It's really important, y'all. And I'm not just talking about history of Rome, but like I said, you got to start somewhere. So even if that's where you start, and as you go along the line and eventually understand history better and understand there's been so much corruption throughout history, then I would suggest to start looking into secret societies. So what we have here, and not necessarily secret societies, but these are pretty well known. As you see, Knights Templar founded 1119 in Jerusalem. Society of Jesus. Do you guys even know who the Society of Jesus is, aka the Jesuits? I'm sure a lot of people may know, but what do you know about them? That's the question. And I put a little fun fact right here because Zachary K. Hubbard, Gematria Effect, he always talks about how the Gregorian calendar was created by the Jesuits and introduced by the Pope. And that's very correct. And if you look, the Jesuits were formed in 1534, and that calendar came out, just about 50 years later, a little bit less than 50 years later, that calendar came out. So if you follow Gematria Effect, and you should, these two are very important. Now, another secret society, and again, not so secret, people have heard of Freemasonry. People have heard of the Illuminati. People have heard of Skull and Bones. People, I didn't highlight that, bold print that. People have heard of the Boule. But what do you know about these organizations? And then that's the thing I was touching on it yesterday, for people to think that there's not code of secrecies and a code of silence and oath that you have to take at different levels of these right here. I mean, I don't know what you're thinking then, because the young gangbangers are taking oaths and they're committing and honoring codes of secrecy, and you don't believe that these ancient societies could have done the same thing? And this is at a much larger scale. Like, with when it comes to secret societies, I hear so often, it's like I was saying yesterday, people can't hide the truth. People are always spilling the beans. Well, true. That's at small levels. That's you tell your uncle some secret and he goes and tells your aunt. Yeah, yeah. People do have trouble keeping secrets. That's at a small level. We're talking about people that got all kind of benefit to keeping those secrets secret, right? So you're running the world. You're making trillions, gazillions of dollars. You run the world. You have a say in what goes on in society. What is your benefit for spilling the beans? You have no benefit. It's such a larger scale than what most people would think when they think, oh, secret society, that means they got to keep secrets. Oh, nobody can keep a secret. No, you can't keep a secret, okay? You can't abide by an oath or by a code of secrecy. But people with big bucks, people that got families that go way back, they can, okay? They're at a much larger scale of secrecy than you could ever imagine. But you could if you put yourself in their shoes, and that's another suggestion I have to people. You don't believe that the world could be run by powerful people, but if you put yourself in the position of a powerful person, I think you might start to understand how they could pull some of this stuff off. So, that's one of my suggestions. Like I said, really is history, man. Understanding history, political history, religious history, history of Rome, history of Israel. Understand your history, and it will go a long way. And then research these secret societies, and you'll see that these aren't so secret, and their beliefs probably go against what a lot of these good Samaritans out here believe. If they really research some of these societies, they'd be blown away by how they operate. So, that's my suggestion. Start with history, check out secret societies, check out organizations like these. And then from there, if a person's still having trouble, one of my suggestions, man, is find something that they question, right? So I don't care if it's Bigfoot or the Loch Ness monster. Find something that they question and just roll from there. If they can believe in aliens, then why couldn't they entertain the idea that the moon landing was fake, or that JFK assassination had some question marks, or MLK assassination had some question marks, or that Colorado school, or the Colorado movie theater situation, or the 9/11, or this Miss Sandy, or the Boston bombing. I mean, if you want to believe in Bigfoot, why can't you believe that some of this other stuff, maybe the narrative we were told, isn't true? So yeah, entertainment's good, y'all, because people are so intrigued by the TV. But I really think the most important thing is understanding history. If you understand history, you'll get a better idea of what we're going through presently. Because ancient societies, secret societies, governments, rulers have tried to gain more and more control throughout the years. And a lot of times it brought empires down, but nevertheless, history repeats itself, y'all. And that's why it's so important. That's why I think you should start there. Understand your history. But nevertheless, I just want to make this quick video. I don't want to go on for another 50 minutes today, y'all. I just want to stay consistent, keep rolling. I'm just making these first few videos, kind of giving someone a blueprint, or trying to at least give some ideas for a blueprint of how to maybe wake up your friends, how to wake up your family members. Maybe you're early in your path of enlightenment, and you want more information to look into. Go look into ancient religions. Go look into the Federal Reserve. Go look into our government system. There's so many different things you could research that will really help you understand that, man, we've been lied to. The world is corrupt. And we got to do something about this, folks. We got to do something. But much love, y'all. Like I said, just want to bounce back on y'all. It's fall for nothing or fall for no thing. Till next time.